James Taylor lick number 6 from You Can Close Your Eyes. I'm going to show you 2 different ways to play it. We're going to isolate out our thumb, which alternates between the E and the D string in this manner. And obviously the A and the D at the end of that. So make sure your thumb is very comfortable with that Travis picking pattern, as that will provide the foundation for everything that we're going to do on top of that. We're then going to add our other 3 fingers on top of that, playing this. We catch that B string very quickly before hitting the G bass note there. And then when we do this pull off, we're gonna play the 1st fret of the B string and the G string open. And you can do that with either 2 fingers or 1. You'll probably alternate between the 2 of them. Doing 1 finger is actually, I would say, a little bit easier just because you have less to think about. And it creates a little bit more of a subtle tone to it as opposed to very intentional. And it, I think, just makes it sound a little bit more interesting. And if you notice in the tab, there's 2 places where you can do that, where we play the G and the B together. One of them is just doing a pull-off. So you can mix between 2 fingers or 1 for both of them, or alternate. Then we continue. And we do a little syncopated walk down there after the pull-off. And I say syncopated again because instead of playing these notes as we're walking down the bass string together, we're alternating. And that can take a little bit of getting used to. And there will be a couple different ways you can play that with your left hand. I like to use my thumb on that F sharp. What I'm guessing James Taylor does, however, is something like this. He brings his pointer finger and then middle finger to the bass note on the E string. You can do it like that, or you can do what I do, where after the pull-off, you put your middle finger down, and then your thumb on the F sharp. So you have the 2 different ways. Or we then walk back up from the E. When we hit the A, I like to bar the A, just because we don't need to do any fancy work. We just need to hit the A chord. If we were doing hammer-ons and stuff, then I would play it differently, but barring it is just fine for me. And then we go to a B minor. And you'll notice our thumb again is following that simple. And we're just throwing things on top of that. Also, when we're playing our B minor, we do want to make sure and bar all strings. We don't need to worry about the low E string, but all strings on the 2nd fret, because we do lift off our middle finger and we play the 2nd fret of the B string, and we'll want to make sure that is adequately barred so that that note rings out. Lift off the middle finger, and then we hammer back on. There's going to be many different ways that James Taylor has played this over the years. I'm going to show you another way here as our 2nd variation. Our thumb is going to do this. And you notice a lot of that is very similar. It's really just the first half that we make some changes to. We begin in the same enter as the other variation. Now when we get to the G, instead of keeping our thumb alternating at the same rhythm, we jump slightly more quickly to the D string, as opposed to slight difference there you can hear. Now, if you want to replace that thumb with your pointer finger, you can certainly do that as well. So, notice I use my 3 fingers on the D, G, and the B, as opposed to jumping up there with my thumb. So we have, and then we're going to lift off whatever finger you have on the G string, probably your middle, and then we're going to play a regular G. And we descend back down, and we do so a little bit more quickly, going from the G to the F sharp, as opposed to, if you remember from the last lick, we're going to be, we then hit our E minor on the E and the G, and then the second half of the lick is exactly the same. So up to speed we have this. So was one of those licks more difficult to learn, or is there one that you preferred to play more? Let me know in the comments below.